whatever competition came along. And here comes Terry Steiner. It's one brother after another, as you know. If you're a Hawkeye watcher, you know that they have two sets of twins in the lineup, top-ranked wrestlers in almost every instance. Now at 150, you're looking at Torrae Jackson, who's wrestling for the Red All-Star team. He's ranked first, having beaten Terry Steiner twice this year in very close matches. And Torrae Jackson's from Iowa State. Terry Steiner has some of the same, many of the same characteristics as his brother, and a very fine workmanlike power approach to this game. And Jackson is a quick, explosive, very exciting wrestler on his feet, and he has been able to defeat Steiner in the past this year by his quickness and power on the feet.
What's really neat about both of these wrestlers is they have continued to improve over the last couple of years. Terry Steiner making an All-American status last year, and Torrae Jackson coming within an eyelash of being an All-American himself, but he has really established himself over the off-season and the preseason, working real hard. And he's #1 ranked now, and he's really come on. And of course he's got,
there's Kevin, that's one of the reasons.
I was going to say, there he's got, comes from good stock, and he's got a brother that's the #1 ranked, #1 hopeful in the Olympics, for the Olympics in 1992. He only has to defend himself against one contender, one opponent to make that Olympic team, Kevin Jackson. So
at 180 pounds. Well, this is the way the actual numbers of takedowns, escapes, match points have been going. So far, they're not keeping a team score here, however, the blue and against the red, but you know which your favorites are on.
As far as matches, right, Doug?
That's right. Torrae Jackson in the red against Terry Steiner. They've had two high-scoring matches before this year, but they haven't touched each other here in the first minute and a half. Underhooks by Jackson.
Working the inside, trying to set up some kind of attack right there, trying to shrug under.
And Steiner working to counter that quickness, that explosiveness up there. And I suspect by keeping the score low till late in the match, Steiner feels he's successful. Drops in on the single leg. There's Steiner, but too much power from Jackson.
Well, you said it, Doug. There's a lot of power in Torrae Jackson. And if there's one difference here, it was being raw power and physicalness right there, and that's something that Terry Steiner continues to try to improve, but he's not quite at the level as Torrae Jackson in pure power.
But he's wrestling before the home crowd, and
gives you some power,
he's been in some very close matches. They've had some toughies this year. Last minute of the first period. Steiner in the blue, on the right, Jackson in the red for the red team in the All-Star Meet National Wrestling Coaches Association Classic.
You said earlier about the couple of matches that were real close, 8-7 and 16-13 in the first two matches this year.
In the middle, guys.
I don't know if it's going to be that high this time.
It doesn't look like it so far. And as I say, I think it's to Steiner's advantage to stay in there tight.
Try to score, gentlemen, try to score.
But there is Jackson in on the leg. That's what he's looking for, to get out ahead.
Well, he's strong, he's quick, he's just a great athlete.
Beautiful high single by Terry Jackson. Escape. They're even with 6 seconds to go.
You're neutral, on the mark. On the mark.
I think most observers feel that Jackson needs to nullify the riding ability of the Steiners by getting on for a takedown quickly. A reminder that at the intermission tonight, we'll be talking with Jim Gibbons, the Iowa State wrestling coach, about his resignation at the end of the season as Cyclones head coach. We'll ask him about it, why he did it, and what the future holds. We'll also show you our college wrestling schedule, and we'll look at the stats on the first half of tonight's all-star duel from Iowa City.
Well, what you were just mentioning there, Doug, about Steiner being able to nullify with his riding time, what he is nullifying is that power we were talking about and that strength. Steiner is a better rider. Now, he's just been penalized for walking Torrae Jackson off the mat instead of taking him back down. Therefore, Torrae Jackson got 1 point, a penalty against Terry Steiner there. But to finish my point, Jackson, to become a total wrestler, must also be able to ride a little bit longer than he has been able to.
Watch the knee on that.
Steiner has the leg in.
Watch that knee now.
That was an indication there that a leg is stronger than an arm. Jackson had the arm under Steiner's leg, couldn't prevent the move. Flattens Jackson out. 21 seconds, 22 and counting in riding time in the second period.
Don't try to score.
But Jackson, the man on the bottom, leads 3-1.
You get the feeling that Terry Steiner does not want to walk out of this hall tonight anything but a winner right now.
But I suspect you can say the same for Torrae Jackson here. It's two rivals from Iowa and Iowa State in the National Wrestling Coaches All-Star Meet. Jackson's able to get to his feet right away, but Steiner has the leg.
Yeah.
He's very, very slick with that.
Terry Steiner, the 5th Iowa wrestler here in a row, wrestling for the NWCA All-Star Blue Squad. 4 wins for Iowa wrestlers so far. Terry Steiner, the 5th in line right here, going against #1 ranked Torrae Jackson and doing a nice job of riding hard.
Now Steiner's 1 point away from a minute in riding time here. Minute advantage. With 50 seconds to go in the first period.
Freeze, go on top.
Can't keep standing up with the legs in.
Now Steiner looks like he's a little high this time. He's a little high. And he got reversed. And that's Jackson leading 5-1.
That was a good sense by Torrae Jackson right there. He felt Steiner come high and was able to react very positively.
5-2 in favor of Jackson. And Steiner is into the high leg, but again the power gets Jackson out. 20 seconds to go in the second period, 5-2. We're right on the edge. Five to 2 in favor of Jackson on the red team of Iowa State. You see a lot of the Iowa coaches over there, and right next to two people down from Dan Gable is Kevin Jackson.
Yeah, the 2 unofficial coaches are sitting next to each other.
Steiner in on the leg. Can he win it? Can he get this takedown?
Where you got to grind it out. He's got to get it here to be in the mat.
He didn't quite get it because Jackson's a little bit too quick. What'll happen? 2. Jackson doesn't think it's given up yet. They're going to stop it. I think Chad Crow and Mike Pyle are having a disagreement about that.
Right, and I don't think it's right. The head referee calls this right there, and they don't stop it in the middle.
It is a takedown. A takedown by Steiner. His first of the match.
Yeah, whether or not that was 2 or not. Look at how he spun around. Look for the head, shook, look for the head, and got that 2 reversal. That's the 2 reversal that came a little while ago. Then Steiner got away, and Steiner almost had or just got a takedown right there.
Now we're going to the third period. It's 5-4 in favor of Jackson. Steiner gets to start on the bottom. And Iowa Hawkeyes, there it's 5-5. The Hawkeyes have not lost a match yet in this all-star meet. And here is a single leg again by Steiner. Jackson trying to fight his way out with the whizzer. He's in good position now. Troy Steiner just keeps trying to cut across with that double leg. Keeps trying. Terry Steiner. Now Jackson is in good position to come free. Goes for the leg and scores.
That was a matter right there of who was going to stay in good position through a flurry. Both got in bad position for a second, but Torrae Jackson was able to come out and take advantage of bad position. What happened there was Terry Steiner almost had it executed really well right here. Now, this is the finish right there for 2 points. Terry Steiner had cut across. His head was to the outside. He was just about ready to drive for 2. Jackson hipped into him, straightened him straight up, and that's what got him into the flurry, and Jackson was able to come around for 2 points.
Now, away we go with 1:12 to go. It's a 1-point lead for Jackson after that escape, 7-6. Riding time doesn't count right now because it's only 36 seconds for Steiner. Jackson has spent enough time on top. They lock up, upper body right on the edge of the mat. Go chest to chest for a minute. Nothing happened.
It was 8-7 their first time, 16-13 their second time, and now it's 7-6 with 57 seconds left. Boy, they provide fans with great matches.
Terry Steiner of Iowa against Torrae Jackson of Iowa State, representing the blue and red teams respectively. A double leg by Steiner. He's in deep. He's in very deep. And he scores. And it's 8-7, and he goes to work riding on the top. He got in very deep, and there's a warning on the bottom against Jackson.
Look at this shot. He just shot right in. A little touch on the head. Shot in and improved his position by coming up and in, driving in, hook at the ankle. Now, look at this. Comes around, adjusts for 2 points. Good job by Terry Steiner.
Now, here's the thing, Tim. There are 46 seconds of riding time for Steiner. If he can ride for 10 more seconds...
He doesn't.
He didn't. Now it's even.
Takedown wins it, or they go into overtime. Doug, we still got the Iowa State dual meet in front of us.
That's right. Duck under by Jackson, but Steiner countered it really well and almost got the takedown. They're out of bounds with 16 seconds to go. 16 seconds to go. 8-8.
This is tremendous wrestling. Iowa State gave it to us at 118, and they're giving it to us again. This is great.
And two different styles. Jackson with a single leg, 10 seconds to go. He got it, and it's Jackson's explosiveness at the end. He's going to ride it out, and he wins.
Good match, great match. That's a very, very good win for Torrae Jackson. Nice match by Terry Steiner.
And that's the way they've ended every single time between these two, and they'll meet again. Here is Torrae Jackson, ranked number 1, with a last-second takedown.
Look at this. He's in tight. He's in on the leg, but that little trip there enabled him to come across for a low double leg right there. The 2 points right there, signaled by the referee, Mike Pyle.
And that's the end of the 150-pound match in the National Wrestling Coaches Association All-Star Meet. And earlier, we had an opportunity to visit with the Iowa State Cyclones head coach, Jim Gibbons, the coach of Torrae Jackson, about Jim's decision to resign at Iowa State effective at the end of the year. And here's what we had to say.
Jim, it's a big surprise to a lot of people when a